If you want to achieve real success, you need more than just motivation. You need a warrior mindset. A mindset that refuses to quit, that stays strong when things get tough, and that pushes forward no matter how hard the journey gets. Life will test you. Challenges will come. But the difference between those who rise and those who fall is mental toughness. Warriors don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. They don't back down when obstacles appear. They face them head on. And if you want to reach your full potential, you have to train your mind to be unstoppable. Too many people give up when things don't go their way. They let fear hold them back. They let doubt take control. But that's not the mindset of a warrior. A warrior knows that success is earned, not given. It's built through discipline, action, and an unshakable belief in yourself. It's about standing strong when others would break. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. And today, you're going to learn how to develop that warrior mindset so that nothing, not fear, not failure, not setbacks can stop you from achieving what you want in life. If you're tired of making excuses, if you're ready to step up and take control of your future, then stay with me. This is your moment to change everything. Let's begin. Number 1, stop letting life push you around. Take back your power. Stop waiting for life to change because it won't. Nothing will magically get better. No one is coming to save you. If you don't stand up for yourself, life will keep pushing you around. And before you know it, you'll wake up one day wondering where all your time went. You'll look back and realize you let fear, doubt, and other people control your decisions. But that doesn't have to be your story. Right now, you can make a choice. Right now, you can decide that you will no longer be a victim of circumstances. You will no longer be controlled by fear. You will no longer let life walk all over you. This is the moment you take back your power. Too many people go through life feeling stuck. They say they want change, but deep down, they don't believe it's possible. So they settle. They let people talk them out of their dreams. They let society tell them what they can or can't do. They stay in the same job, the same routines, the same mindset year after year. And then they wonder why they feel lost. Listen, you were not born to be controlled. You were not born to live in fear. You were not put on this earth to just exist. You were meant to live. But to truly live, you need to wake up and take control. You need to stop making excuses. Stop blaming the past. Stop waiting for the right time, and start doing something about your life. Right now, you have a choice to make. And I'm not talking about some small decision. I'm talking about a choice that will define your entire future. You can keep doing what you've always done, letting life push you around, waiting for something to change, making the same excuses, or you can stand up and say enough. You can decide right now that you are in charge of your life, that no one else will dictate your future, that no obstacle, no setback, no failure will stop you from becoming who you were meant to be. Because the truth is, life will only push you around if you let it. The problem is, most people never realize how much power they actually have. They live their whole lives believing they are stuck, believing they have no choice. But that's a lie. You always have a choice. You can choose to complain, or you can choose to take action. You can choose to stay in the same place, or you can choose to move forward. You can choose fear, or you can choose strength. But here's the catch. No one can make that choice for you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you discipline, motivation, or success. If you want something different, you have to do something different. So what does it actually mean to take back your power? It means you stop blaming other people for your problems. It means you stop waiting for someone to fix your life. It means you stop letting fear control your decisions. It means you stop making excuses about why you can't, and start focusing on how you can. It means you take responsibility for everything, for your thoughts, your actions, your habits, your results. It means you own your failures just as much as your successes. Because when you take full responsibility, something incredible happens. You take back control, and when you have control, nothing can stop you. Think about this for a second. Every single successful person you admire, every strong and disciplined person you see, had a moment where they could have given up. They could have let life push them around. They could have stayed weak, stayed afraid, stayed in their comfort zone. But they didn't. They stood up. They took back their power. And that decision changed everything. They weren't lucky. They weren't special. They just refuse to let life control them. And that's the same decision you have to make today. Because if you don't, the cycle continues. If you keep letting life control you, nothing changes. Another year will pass, and you'll still be stuck. 5 years will go by, and you'll wonder where the time went. A decade will pass, and you'll realize you wasted your potential. And let me tell you something. There is no worse feeling than regret. Regret is the pain of knowing you could have done something, but you didn't. And once time is gone, you don't get it back. So don't let that be your story. Don't let life push you around for another second. This is your moment. This is your wake-up call. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more settling for less than you deserve. You are stronger than your fears. You are bigger than your excuses. You are capable of more than you've been telling yourself. But none of that matters if you don't act. None of that means anything if you don't take back your power and start living like the warrior you were meant to be. Because at the end of the day, no one can do this for you. No one can fight this battle but you. No one can step up and take control of your life but you. So what are you going to do? Keep letting life push you around. Keep living in fear. Keep waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the right circumstances. Or are you going to stand up right now and take control? Because let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. The perfect time is now. The perfect moment is this moment. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You just need to decide. Decide that you will no longer be a victim. Decide that you will no longer let fear dictate your life. Decide that you will take full control of your future. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how many challenges come your way, the world does not give you what you want. It gives you what you fight for. So fight for your life. Fight for your future. Fight for the person you know you are meant to become. Because when you take back your power, when you stop letting life push you around, that's when everything changes. That's when you become unstoppable. And that's when you finally start living. Number 2, your weakness is a lie. Destroy it before it destroys you. The voice in your head that tells you you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have what it takes, it's all a lie. And if you don't destroy that lie, it will destroy you. It will rob you of your potential. It will keep you stuck in fear. It will convince you that you are less than what you truly are. But today, you have a choice. You can either accept the lie and live in weakness, or you can stand up, fight back, and take control of your life. The moment you realize that weakness is not real, that it's just a story you've been telling yourself, that's the moment you set yourself free. That's the moment you take back your power. You have to understand something. Weakness is not something you are born with. It's something you've been conditioned to believe. Somewhere along the way, you started listening to the wrong voices. Maybe it was a teacher who told you you'd never be great. Maybe it was a friend who doubted your abilities. Maybe it was society telling you to play it safe, to not take risks, to just be realistic. And over time, you started believing it. You started seeing yourself as weak. You started playing small, holding back, making excuses. But let me tell you the truth. Those doubts, those fears, those limitations, they were never yours to begin with. They were planted in your mind by people who gave up on their own dreams. And now you have to make a decision. Are you going to let their words define you? Are you going to let their limitations become your reality? Or are you going to rise up and destroy every single lie that has ever held you back? The only thing that separates people who succeed from those who stay stuck is the decision to stop believing in weakness. Strong people are not born that way. They are made. They are built through struggle, through discipline, through the relentless refusal to accept anything less than their full potential. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They don't make excuses. They don't sit around waiting for things to get easier. They get up, they push forward, and they fight for the life they want. And that's exactly what you have to do. Look at your life right now. Be brutally honest with yourself. Where have you been making excuses? Where have you been telling yourself that you're not capable? Where have you been letting fear control your actions? Because here's the truth. Every single time you say I can't, what you're really saying is, I won't. Every time you say I don't have the discipline, what you're really saying is, I'm not willing to do what it takes. And every time you say I'm too weak, what you're really saying is, I'm choosing to stay weak. But weakness is a choice. And if you can choose weakness, you can also choose strength. If you want to destroy the lie of weakness, you have to do one thing: prove it wrong. Every single day, you have to challenge it. You have to wake up and do something that scares you. You have to step outside your comfort zone and take action even when you don't feel ready. You have to train your mind to fight back against every excuse, every doubt, every negative thought that tries to hold you down. And the only way to do that is through discipline, through repetition, through showing up every single day and doing the work. People wait for motivation. They wait to feel strong before they take action. But that's not how it works. You don't become strong by waiting. You become strong by doing. You become strong by pushing yourself when it's hard, by showing up when you don't feel like it, by proving to yourself over and over again that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And the more you do that, the more you realize that weakness was never real. It was just an illusion. Think about every challenge you've ever faced in your life. Every moment you thought you wouldn't survive. Every time you felt broken, lost, defeated, but you're still here. You made it through. And if you made it through that, what makes you think you can't handle what's in front of you now? Strength is not something you find. It's something you build. And you've been building it your entire life. But you have to recognize it. You have to own it. You have to stop looking at yourself as weak and start seeing yourself for what you really are: powerful, capable, unstoppable. So the question is, what are you going to do now? Are you going to keep believing in weakness? Are you going to keep listening to the same lies that have held you back your entire life? Or are you going to destroy them once and for all? Because the truth is, you were never weak. You were just told that you were. And now it's time to prove to yourself and the world that every single doubt, every single fear, every single excuse was wrong. It's time to rise up. It's time to take back control. It's time to destroy the lie and step into the strength that has been inside you all along. Because once you do that, once you stop letting weakness define you, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. Number 3. Discipline is your greatest weapon. Master it or stay average. Discipline is the one thing that separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for an average life. It is the foundation of every success story. The people you admire, the ones who rise above challenges and create extraordinary results, didn't get there by chance. They got there because they mastered discipline. And if you don't make discipline a priority in your life, you will never reach your full potential. You will always be stuck in the cycle of wanting more but never doing what it takes to get there. Because without discipline, your dreams are just empty wishes. Look around. The world is filled with people who have incredible talent but never do anything with it. You've seen it. People who talk about what they're going to do but never follow through. People who start something with excitement but quit as soon as it gets hard. People who blame circumstances, luck, or other people for why they're not where they want to be. But let me tell you the truth. It's not a lack of talent that holds them back. It's not bad luck. It's not because they didn't get the right opportunities. It's because they never developed discipline. They let their emotions control them. They let distractions pull them away from their goals. They gave in to comfort instead of pushing through discomfort. You have to make a decision. Do you want to be like them, or do you want to be different? Do you want to wake up 10 years from now looking back on a life filled with excuses and regrets? Or do you want to wake up knowing you built something incredible, that you pushed through the hard times, that you stayed committed when it wasn't easy, that you proved to yourself that you had what it takes? Because that is the only way to succeed. Not through talent, not through luck, but through discipline. Discipline means doing what you said you would do, long after the mood in which you said it has left you. It means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means pushing forward when it's hard. It means sticking to your plan when distractions are everywhere. It means saying no to things that don't serve your purpose. It means waking up early to work on your goals even when your body wants to stay in bed. It means sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term success. It means taking full responsibility for your actions, your time, and your results. Think about the people who are at the top of their game. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the highest performers in any field. They all have one thing in common. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline, they train when they don't feel like it. They work on their craft when no one is watching. They don't make excuses when things get tough. They don't wait for the right moment, they create the right moment, and that is what separates them from everyone else. If you want to build discipline, you have to stop waiting for inspiration. Stop waiting for motivation to magically appear. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is right now. You have to force yourself to take action, even when you don't feel like it. You have to do the hard things, even when every part of you wants to quit. You have to make discipline a non-negotiable part of your life. The best way to develop discipline is to start small. Pick one thing you're going to commit to and do it every single day, no matter what. Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's reading for 30 minutes. Maybe it's writing down your goals every morning. It doesn't matter what it is, what matters is that you do it consistently. Because discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And once you develop discipline in one area of your life, it spills over into everything else. Stop letting your feelings dictate your actions. Your feelings will lie to you. Your feelings will tell you to take it easy, to relax, to do it later. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. That's the difference between winners and everyone else. Winners don't wait to feel like doing the work, they do the work, and then the results make them feel good. You have to become the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. Every time you say you're going to do something and don't follow through, you lose trust in yourself. You send a message to your mind that your words don't mean anything. And that's how people get stuck in cycles of failure. But when you develop discipline, when you make a commitment and stick to it no matter what, you build confidence. You prove to yourself that you are in control of your actions. And that kind of confidence will take you further than anything else in life. The truth is, discipline is hard in the beginning. It requires effort. It requires sacrifice. But you know what's harder? Living a life of mediocrity. Looking back years from now and realizing you never gave it your all. Realizing you let distractions, laziness, and excuses steal your potential. That pain lasts a lifetime. But the pain of discipline, that pain is temporary. That pain is what leads to growth, to success, to everything you've ever wanted. So now it's up to you. Are you going to keep living life based on your emotions? Are you going to keep letting distractions and excuses control you? Or are you going to take control and build the discipline you need to succeed? Because I promise you, once you master discipline, everything in your life will change. Your results will change. Your confidence will change. Your future will change. And that is the greatest gift you can give yourself. The gift of knowing that no matter what happens, you have the power to create the life you want. It all starts with discipline. And it starts right now. Number 4. Pain is temporary, regret lasts forever. Push through. Pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. That is the truth. The pain of discipline, the pain of effort, the pain of pushing through discomfort, it all fades. It may feel overwhelming in the moment, but it doesn't last. Your body recovers. Your mind grows stronger. You adapt. But the pain of knowing you could have done more, the pain of looking back and realizing you quit too soon, the pain of wasted time and missed opportunities, that pain never goes away. That kind of pain follows you. It eats away at you. And no matter how much you try to ignore it, it stays there, reminding you of what you could have been if only you had pushed a little harder. You don't want to live with that kind of regret. You don't want to wake up one day and realize that your dreams slipped through your fingers because you weren't willing to endure a little discomfort. Success isn't supposed to be easy. Growth isn't supposed to feel comfortable. Every great achievement comes with a price, and that price is effort. It's the willingness to go through temporary pain to reach something greater. Every time you push through discomfort, you're building strength. You're proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. And that is the key to winning. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about refusing to quit when things get tough. Think about the moments in your life when you gave up too soon. When you let frustration or exhaustion stop you. When you convinced yourself it wasn't worth it, or it was too hard, or you'd do it later. What happened? Did quitting make things better? Did giving up make you happier? Or did it leave you feeling like you let yourself down? That feeling, that deep sense of disappointment in yourself, is what happens when you choose comfort over growth. And the only way to avoid that feeling is to commit to pushing through no matter what. Pain is a test. It's the universe asking you, how bad do you really want this? Because if you're not willing to struggle for it, if you're not willing to endure the difficult days, then you don't really want it. If you only take action when it's easy, then you're not serious. Because every successful person you admire has gone through pain. Every champion, every leader, every high achiever has faced moments where they wanted to quit. The difference is, they didn't. They pushed through. They kept going. Even when it was painful. Even when they doubted themselves. Even when they had every excuse to stop. And that's why they succeeded. You have to remind yourself that the pain is only temporary. Whatever struggle you're facing right now, whatever obstacle is making you want to quit, it will pass. You will get through it. Your body will recover. Your mind will adapt. The challenge you're facing today will seem small in the future. But the consequences of quitting, those last forever. Because every time you quit, you're training yourself to accept failure. You're wiring your brain to take the easy way out. And before you know it, quitting becomes your default response to anything difficult. That is how people get stuck in mediocrity. They let short-term discomfort dictate their entire future. The next time you feel like giving up, stop and think about your future self. Imagine looking back on this moment years from now. Imagine the pride you will feel knowing you kept going, knowing you pushed through when it was hard, knowing you proved to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine looking back and realizing you gave up too soon, that you let fear or discomfort stop you, that you let an opportunity slip away because you weren't willing to endure a little struggle. Which feeling do you want to experience? You have to train yourself to embrace the struggle. Instead of running from pain, face it head on. Instead of seeing difficulty as a reason to quit, see it as proof that you're growing. Instead of avoiding discomfort, learn to love it. Because every time you push through pain, you get better, you get tougher. You build the resilience that separates winners from everyone else. That is how you become unstoppable. That is how you achieve what others only dream about. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how tired you feel, no matter how much you want to stop, remind yourself that this moment is temporary. The pain will fade, but the pride of knowing you gave it everything you had, that will stay with you forever. Keep pushing. Keep moving forward, because in the end, the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret, and you do not want to live with regret. Number 5. Destroy. Fear before it paralyzes your life. Fear is the enemy. It sneaks into your mind, whispers in your ear, and convinces you to stop before you even start. It tells you that you're not ready, that you might fail, that people will judge you. It keeps you frozen, paralyzed, stuck in the same place while life passes you by. And the worst part, fear is a liar. It tricks you into believing it's protecting you, but in reality, it's stealing from you. It's stealing your dreams, your potential, your future. Every time you give in to fear, you give up a piece of yourself. You let it dictate your life instead of taking control. And if you don't destroy fear, it will destroy you. You cannot afford to let fear hold you back. You have one life. One shot. And if you spend it running from fear, you will never know what you're truly capable of. The people who succeed in this world are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who refuse to let fear stop them. They feel it, acknowledge it, and move forward anyway. That is the difference. That is the mindset you must adopt if you want to live a life without regrets. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to control you. Think about all the opportunities you've missed because of fear. The times you hesitated, the chances you let slip away, the moments you held yourself back. Now ask yourself, was fear ever really protecting you? Or was it just keeping you from becoming the person you were meant to be? Fear thrives on hesitation. The longer you wait, the stronger it gets. It grows, it multiplies, and before you know it, you've built an entire life around avoiding discomfort. You tell yourself, I'll do it later. But later turns into never. You wait for the perfect moment, but the perfect moment never comes. You have to understand something. Fear doesn't go away on its own. You can't wait for it to disappear before you take action. You have to attack it. You have to face it head on. You have to do the very thing that scares you, over and over again, until fear has no power over you. That is how you take control. That is how you destroy fear before it destroys you. It's not about eliminating fear completely. That's impossible. It's about training yourself to move forward despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of fear. Every time you push through fear, you build confidence. You prove to yourself that fear is just an illusion, a wall made of smoke. And once you break through that wall, you realize there was nothing to be afraid of in the first place. The more you do this, the stronger you become. You stop hesitating. You stop second-guessing yourself. You start taking action without overthinking. And that is when everything changes. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to feel the fear and do it anyway. Because fear is not a real barrier. It only exists in your mind. And the only way to weaken it is to take action. The more you hesitate, the stronger fear becomes. The more you act, the weaker it gets. That is the formula. That is the secret. Look around. Look at the people who are living the life you want. The ones who have built something meaningful. The ones who have achieved greatness. Do you think they were fearless? No. They had fears. Just like you. The only difference is, they refused to let fear stop them. They decided that their dreams were bigger than their fears. And that is the decision you must make. If you let fear control you, you will never reach your full potential. You will live a small life, always wondering what could have been. You will watch others take the chances you were too afraid to take. And at the end of your life, when you look back, you will realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you wanted was fear. Do not let that happen. Do not allow fear to steal your future. The time to take action is now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Because the longer you wait, the more control fear gains over you. The more you hesitate, the more you reinforce the habit of avoiding discomfort. And once that habit is ingrained, it is hard to break. But if you take action now, if you start moving forward despite fear, you will build a new habit. A habit of courage. A habit of strength. A habit of pushing through. No matter what. So whatever it is that fear is keeping you from doing, do it now. Make the call. Take the risk. Speak up. Put yourself out there. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. It won't. But the moment you take action, you take away its power. You show yourself that fear is nothing but an illusion. And once you do that, you become unstoppable. Fear only wins if you let it. Don't give it that power. Take control. Move forward. Destroy fear before it destroys you. Number 6. No more excuses. It's time to face the truth. Excuses are the chains that keep you locked in the same place. They are the easy way out. The comforting lies we tell ourselves to avoid responsibility. But let me tell you something. Every excuse you make is another opportunity you let slip away. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I'm not ready yet," or "it's not the right time," you are robbing yourself of progress. You are standing in your own way. And if you don't stop now, you will wake up one day and realize that your entire life has passed you by. And all you'll have left are regrets. People who make excuses live small lives. They settle for less. They convince themselves that they have no control, that the circumstances are too difficult, that success is only for the lucky ones. But that is a lie. You have control. You have power. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your mindset. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not luck, not talent, not privilege. It's mindset. The winners refuse to make excuses. They refuse to blame their situation. They take full ownership of their life. The truth is, making excuses is easy. It's comfortable. It allows you to stay where you are without feeling guilty. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Nothing great has ever been built on a foundation of excuses. If you want more for yourself, if you want success, happiness and fulfillment, then you have to stop lying to yourself. You have to stop waiting for the perfect conditions, because they will never come. You have to stop blaming other people, because that changes nothing. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, is the moment everything changes. Think about this for a second. How much time have you wasted making excuses? How many times have you said, "I'll start next week," and next week never came? How many times have you told yourself that you're too busy, too tired, too stressed, too whatever? Excuses are endless, but so is time, until it's not. One day you won't have another tomorrow. One day you will have run out of time to do the things you said you would do. And what then? Will you look back and be proud of all the excuses you made, or will you wish you had just started? It's time to face the truth. The truth is, you can do more. You can be more. You can change your life. But you have to stop waiting for something to happen. You have to stop hoping that things will just fall into place. That's not how life works. The people who get what they want are the ones who go after it. They don't sit around complaining. They don't blame the government, their parents, their boss, or the economy. They take action, no matter what. They take responsibility for where they are, and then they work to get where they want to be. You might say, "But I don't know where to start." That's just another excuse. Start anywhere. Start small. But start. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to take the first step. Then the next one. And the next. That's how progress happens. It's not about huge leaps. It's about consistent action. But if you keep waiting, if you keep hesitating, if you keep making excuses, nothing will change. The hard truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to knock on your door and hand you the life you want. You have to create it. You have to fight for it. And that starts by cutting out the excuses. Start by being honest with yourself. Are you really too busy? Or are you just wasting time? Are you really not ready? Or are you just afraid to fail? Are the conditions really not right? Or are you just looking for an easy way out? The sooner you face the truth, the sooner you can change it. The greatest thing you can do for yourself is take control. Stop looking for reasons why you can't, and start looking for ways you can. Stop focusing on the obstacles, and start focusing on the solutions. Because the truth is, there is always a way. It may not be easy. It may take time. It may require sacrifice. But it is possible. And if you truly want it, you will find a way. But if you don't, you'll find an excuse. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep telling yourself the same stories, the same lies, the same excuses? Or are you going to make the decision right now that enough is enough, that you are done playing small, that you are done letting excuses run your life? Make that decision, and then take action. Because once you stop making excuses, once you take full control, nothing can stop you. Nothing. No more waiting. No more blaming. No more excuses. It's time to face the truth. It's time to take action. It's time to become the person you were meant to be. Number 7. Face your fears head on. Fear is a thief. It steals your potential. It robs you of your peace. And it keeps you locked in the prison of what if. But today I'm here to tell you something. You do not have to live in fear. You don't have to allow it to control you. You are stronger than the fear that tries to hold you back. The moment you decide that fear will no longer dictate your actions is the moment you take your power back. Fear is not a fact. It's just a feeling. And feelings are not in control. You are. Understand this: the greatest moments in life rarely happen when everything is safe, predictable, and comfortable. Life's greatest rewards come when you push past the fear, when you step into the unknown and take the leap. Fear loves to disguise itself as a reason to wait, a reason to hesitate, a reason to stand still. It's easy to think, maybe next time, or I'll do it when I feel more confident. But let me tell you this, the confidence will never come until you face the fear head on. Waiting for confidence to magically appear is a fool's game. Confidence is built through action, and action is taken when you choose to face your fear. The people you admire, the ones who seem fearless, they are not without fear. They are not immune to the same feelings you experience. What makes them different is their decision to act despite the fear. They make the choice to move forward, even when they feel scared, uncertain, or unsure. And that is the key to success. You cannot wait for fear to disappear. You have to act in spite of it. If you want to succeed, you must learn to push through the fear, not around it. Think about it. Fear is like a shadow that follows you everywhere. It's always there, lurking in the background, trying to convince you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you're going to fail. But the truth is, fear is powerless unless you give it power. The only way to conquer fear is to face it. And the more you face it, the weaker it becomes. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. You cannot let fear control you. Every time you take that first step towards something that scares you, you build resilience, you build courage, you build a mindset that says, I am in charge here. Every time you shrink back, every time you let fear hold you in place, you're feeding it. You're giving it the strength to grow. But when you stand tall, when you face it, you are taking away its power. Fear is not something that vanishes overnight, but you can weaken it. Step by step, it gets smaller each time you choose to take action despite it. And soon enough, you'll realize that fear isn't something to be afraid of at all. It's just a part of the process. It's easy to talk about facing fear in theory, but how do you actually do it? The first step is to acknowledge that fear is a normal part of life. We all feel fear. It's not something you need to avoid or try to escape. Instead, get comfortable with it. Learn how to sit with fear, not let it control you. Understand that it's a natural response, but it doesn't have to define you. You don't have to give it any more space than it deserves. Next, you need to take small steps. Fear often seems bigger in our minds than it really is in reality. The key is to break it down into manageable pieces. If there's something you're afraid of doing, break it down into smaller tasks. Focus on the next step, not the entire mountain. One small action will lead to another, and soon you'll find yourself on the other side of your fear, stronger and more confident than ever. You'll look back and realize that the fear wasn't as big as it seemed. It was just a barrier that you needed to break through. Another powerful way to face fear is to reframe it. Instead of seeing fear as something to avoid, start seeing it as a signal that you're on the right track. When you feel fear, it's a sign that you are stepping out of your comfort zone, that you are challenging yourself to grow. Fear is your mind's way of preparing you for something new, something bigger. It's not a warning to stop. It's a call to go forward. Embrace it. Use it as fuel to keep moving. Most importantly, you need to understand that fear is temporary. It's fleeting. It comes in waves, but it always passes. The longer you resist it, the stronger it gets. But the more you face it head on, the less control it has over you. There is no greater power than the power to act in the face of fear. The more you do it, the more confident you become. The more you build your courage, the easier it gets. Your life will be defined by the moments you choose to push through fear. These are the moments that create lasting change. The moments that shape your character. The moments that lead to success. If you want to change your life, start by changing your relationship with fear. Stop running from it. Stop avoiding it. Stop allowing it to dictate your actions. Start embracing it, facing it, and using it as a stepping stone to the life you've always wanted. Because on the other side of fear is everything you've been waiting for. So face your fear. Stand tall in the face of it. Take action, no matter how small. And soon you'll realize that fear isn't something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace, something to use, and something to conquer. Because when you face your fears head on, there is nothing that can stop you. And that, my friend, is the key to unlocking your true potential. Number 8. Cut out the people who are weakening you. Now, you will never rise to your full potential if you continue to surround yourself with people who are draining your energy and pulling you down. It's a harsh truth, but it's one you need to hear today. Not everyone in your life deserves a place in your inner circle. The energy you allow around you will either help you rise or pull you under. You have to make a decision right now. Are you going to keep dragging dead weight with you? Or are you going to cut out the people who are holding you back and make room for the people who will lift you higher? There's no room in your life for relationships that drain you, for people who only take and never give. They're the ones who constantly complain, who feed you negativity, who never challenge you to be better. They bring no value to your life and yet demand so much of your time and energy. They are the ones who tell you why you can't, instead of inspiring you to go after what you can. And if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, You need to realize that those people need to go. They don't belong in your world, and you don't need their permission to remove them. You are in control of your life, and if they're not serving your purpose, it's time to let go. You might think that you need to hold on to certain people because of history, because of shared experiences or memories. You might feel guilty, but here's the thing. Guilt doesn't lead to growth and nostalgia doesn't move you forward. You have to let go of what no longer serves you. You can love someone from a distance, but you don't have to keep them close. Your time, your energy, and your focus are precious, and you can't afford to waste them on people who aren't adding value to your life. There will always be people who want to bring you down, whether it's out of jealousy, insecurity, or just their own inability to see your vision. They will tell you it's not possible. They will make you feel like your dreams are unrealistic, that you're setting yourself up for failure. And if you listen to them, if you let their words and their attitudes seep into your mind, they will become your reality. But here's the truth. Their limitations are not your limitations. Their fears are not your fears. Their failures are not your failures. You do not have to accept their version of reality. Think about it. How often do you feel drained after spending time with certain people? How often do you leave a conversation feeling worse about yourself or your goals than you did before? That's a clear sign that the energy they're giving off is toxic, and it's affecting you in ways you may not even realize. It's time to protect your mental and emotional space. It's time to choose who you allow in. You need to surround yourself with people who see the best in you, who encourage you, who challenge you to be better, and who push you to rise. You need to be around people who make you feel strong, who remind you of your worth, and who are committed to their own growth, just like you are to yours. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to create an environment that nurtures your growth. Look at your inner circle. Who are you spending the most time with? Are these the people who inspire you to keep moving forward? Or are they the ones who keep you stuck in old patterns, dragging you down with their negativity and pessimism? You have to ask yourself the tough questions. You have to be honest with yourself about the people you've been allowing into your life. If they're not lifting you up, they're holding you back, and you have to be willing to make the difficult decision to let them go. I know it's not easy. We've all had people in our lives who we've invested time and energy into, but you cannot afford to keep making excuses for people who don't deserve your energy. You cannot keep tolerating relationships that aren't aligned with where you want to go in life. There's no time for that. Every second you spend on toxic people is a second you can't get back. It's a second you're not spending on your growth, on your dreams, on your goals. The people around you need to be in alignment with who you're becoming, not who you used to be. If they are constantly pulling you backward, constantly reminding you of your past mistakes, constantly telling you why you can't, they have no place in your future. And when you start cutting out the negative influences in your life, when you start surrounding yourself with people who are just as committed to their growth as you are to yours, you will begin to see the shift in your life. You will feel more inspired, more motivated, and more focused on what matters most. This isn't just about cutting people out. It's about creating space for the people who will truly support you, who will be there when you need encouragement, and who will hold you accountable. It's about finding the people who make you feel like you're capable of achieving anything. These are the people who bring out the best in you, who believe in your potential, and who push you to be the best version of yourself. It's time to stop allowing people who are holding you back to have any influence over your life. It's time to let go of the people who drain your energy and start making room for those who lift you up. This is your life, your journey, and you have the power to decide who you allow to be a part of it. So choose wisely. Choose the people who make you better, who support your growth, and who push you toward the life you've always dreamed of. Because when you do, you'll start to see just how much more you can achieve when you cut out the noise and focus on what truly matters. Your future is too important to be weighed down by people who don't see your vision. It's time to surround yourself with the right people, the ones who are going to help you rise, not hold you back. Number 9. Turn setbacks into fuel. Success isn't something that just happens. It's not something you wake up one day and suddenly have. It's a relentless pursuit, a daily commitment to being better than you were yesterday. Success doesn't wait for you. It doesn't care about your excuses, your reasons, or your setbacks. What success cares about is consistency, resilience, and the courage to keep moving forward, even when it seems impossible. If you want success to be yours, you have to decide right now that you're ready to chase it, that you're willing to put in the work, even when it's tough, even when it's uncomfortable, and especially when you feel like giving up. Because those are the moments that truly define you. The moments where you choose to push through the pain and keep going. You can't be half committed to success. It doesn't work like that. You can't show up only when you feel like it or when everything is easy. Success demands consistency. It demands showing up every single day, no matter how you feel. It's about committing to the process, even when the rewards seem distant, even when you're not seeing the results you want. It's about knowing deep down that every small action you take, every step forward, is building the life you want, even if it feels like it's not happening fast enough. Those little actions compound over time and lead to massive results. But you have to trust in the process and trust in yourself. This is where most people fail. They start strong, they get excited, but when they don't see immediate results, they give up. They abandon the journey before they even get close to the finish line. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't moving as fast as you want. But if you can push through those moments of doubt, if you can commit to the work when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when you start to unlock the power of consistency. That's when you start to see real progress. Success isn't just about talent or luck. It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about taking relentless action toward your goals, day after day. It's about having the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's about building the habits that support your success, no matter how small they may seem. Those daily habits, waking up early, working toward your goals, staying focused on what matters, add up over time, and they're the key to long-term success. But here's the truth. Success won't come to you if you're waiting for the perfect moment. It won't come to you if you're sitting around waiting for things to be easy, or for all the stars to align. If you want success, you have to go out and grab it. You have to be willing to do what others won't, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's hard. You have to put in the work, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. The difference between those who achieve success and those who don't is simple. The successful people don't give up. They don't let setbacks or failures define them. They keep moving forward, no matter what. They understand that the journey to success isn't always a straight line, but it's always worth it. You're going to face challenges along the way. That's a given. Life isn't a smooth ride to the top. There will be obstacles. There will be moments when you question everything, when you wonder if it's worth it. But that's exactly when you need to push the hardest. When it gets tough, that's when your character is being built. That's when your resilience is being tested. And that's when you need to dig deep, keep going, and remind yourself why you started this journey in the first place. Think about the people who inspire you, the ones who've reached the level of success you're striving for. What do they have in common? They didn't get there by sitting around waiting for things to happen. They got there because they stayed committed. Even when things got hard, they kept working. Even when the results weren't immediate, they pushed through when everyone else was quitting. And they did it day after day, month after month, year after year. They understood that success doesn't happen overnight, but that doesn't mean it's not worth pursuing. You need to develop the same mindset. Success is built on the foundation of consistent action. It's built on the belief that even if you don't see immediate results, you're still making progress. It's about building the momentum that comes from doing the work every day, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. And when you look back, when you see how far you've come, you'll realize that all those small, seemingly insignificant actions were the building blocks of your success. Success is about taking responsibility for your own future. It's about knowing that you're the one who controls your destiny, that you have the power to create the life you want. It's about setting goals and taking consistent action toward them, no matter what. And it's about developing the discipline to keep going, even when it's tough, even when you feel like you're not seeing the results. Because success isn't about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about who you become in the process. So if you want success, it's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment. It's time to start putting in the work, every day, without excuses. It's time to commit to the process, even when it's hard, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because success is coming for those who are willing to show up, day after day, and keep pushing forward. It's coming for those who believe in themselves enough to keep going, even when the road gets tough. And it's coming for you, if you're willing to do the work. Success is yours, but only if you decide to go after it with everything you've got. The choice is yours. Number 10. Keep moving forward. No matter what, success doesn't come by accident. It doesn't wait for you to get comfortable. And it certainly doesn't show up when you're simply going through the motions. If you want to truly succeed, you have to make a choice right now, today, to commit fully to your goals, your growth, and the relentless pursuit of your best self. Success is about taking action, about waking up every day and deciding that nothing will stop you from achieving the life you envision. It's about understanding that every decision you make, every action you take, is either getting you closer to your dreams or further away. You cannot afford to take success lightly. It's time to step up, take control, and make your goals non-negotiable. You see, the biggest obstacle to success is not external, it's internal. It's the doubts, the fears, and the negative self-talk that try to convince you to stop before you even start. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you're not good enough, or that you don't deserve to achieve your goals. But here's the truth. You are capable. You are worthy. You have everything you need to succeed inside of you, but it's up to you to activate that power. Every person who has ever achieved greatness started exactly where you are now, with a decision. A decision to rise above their fears and doubts. A decision to take massive action, no matter how uncomfortable or difficult it may seem. So many people sit on the sidelines of life, watching others take action, watching others chase their dreams, and wonder why they can't seem to get started. What's holding them back isn't their circumstances, it's their own mindset. It's the belief that they don't have what it takes, or that they're not ready. But here's the thing. You'll never feel ready if you keep waiting for the perfect moment. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who take the first step, even when they feel uncertain, even when the road ahead seems unclear. You have to make the decision to stop waiting and start doing. Every great achievement in history started with a single step, a moment of courage and a willingness to take action, even when the path wasn't clear. If you keep waiting for everything to be perfect, you'll miss out on the opportunity to make progress. The key to success is not waiting for the right time. It's making the time right by showing up and doing the work, no matter what. It's the small, consistent actions that compound over time and create lasting change. The more you show up, the more you commit, the closer you get to the success you desire. This is where most people fail. They want success to come easy. They want to avoid the struggle, the pain, and the discomfort that comes with growth. But let me tell you this, the greatest achievements come from the greatest struggles. You cannot grow without discomfort. You cannot reach new heights without pushing through the resistance that stands in your way. It's in those moments of difficulty that your true strength is built, your resilience is tested, and your character is forged. So when the going gets tough, that's when you need to dig deeper. That's when you need to press on. Because the reward at the end is worth every ounce of effort you put in. People who succeed do not avoid challenges. They face them head on. They embrace the discomfort, knowing that it's part of the journey. They understand that success isn't a straight line, it's full of twists, turns, and unexpected obstacles. But the people who make it through the toughest times are the ones who stay committed to their vision, no matter what. They don't let temporary setbacks define them. They don't let failures stop them. They keep pushing forward, because they know that every setback is just a setup for a bigger comeback. The road to success is long, and it's not always glamorous. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when you question whether it's worth it. But those are the days that matter most. It's on those days that you have the chance to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts, your fears, and your circumstances. It's in those moments that you decide whether you're going to keep going or quit. The successful people are the ones who choose to keep going when others would have given up. They understand that the journey isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. If you want to be successful, you need to develop the mindset of a winner. You need to start thinking like someone who is already successful. Someone who believes in their ability to achieve their goals no matter the obstacles. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who never face challenges. They're the ones who face those challenges with confidence, resilience, and unwavering belief in themselves. They understand that success is not a matter of luck or chance. It's a matter of commitment, effort, and persistence. And that's what you need to embody every single day. It's not enough to simply hope for success. You have to take action and put in the work. You have to be willing to make sacrifices, to go the extra mile, to do what others won't do, because that's where the magic happens. When you put in the work that others won't, when you push yourself past your limits, when you refuse to settle for anything less than your best, that's where success is born. It's in those moments that you rise above the average and start living the life you've always dreamed of. So are you ready to stop waiting for the perfect moment? Are you ready to take control of your future and start moving toward your goals with relentless determination? If you are, then there's no limit to what you can achieve. Success is waiting for you, but it's up to you to go out and grab it. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. The choice is yours. Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you ready to commit to your success, no matter what? If the answer is yes, then the road to success is yours for the taking.